to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. As you probably know, this is part of the 1M1M program. We are the only global virtual incubator in the world, headquartered in Silicon Valley, and our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue and create $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. 183rd Roundtable with round, as you can tell. You have a recording of the session available after the show. If you are live tweeting, please use hashtag 1M1M and join us on Twitter at 1M by 1M or at Sramana. On YouTube, we are at 1M1M Roundtables. The channel has recordings of previous roundtables, a bunch of cartoons, 1M FAQs, so on and so forth. We have actually a packed program today, so 5 presenters, I believe. And if we have time, you can call in. Here are the call-in instructions. Let us know in the public chat that you're planning to call in. Put your computer on mute. Call the number 1-650-479-3208. And Maureen, you're using the access code here. You need to put that in the chat. And keep you unmuted until I ask for you. We'll start with Balaji Ababatullah from London. Balaji actually is a premium member. So Balaji, go ahead. What's going on? Balaji, unmute your line. What's Balaji?
Hello.
Yes, there we go. Go ahead.
Hey.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, brilliant. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Sramana. We're talking about B2B, which is a business services platform designed for SMBs. You can move to the slide, please. Overview. Yeah, this one. B2B is a business services platform designed for the micro, small, and medium businesses in the UK. What it means is that you can create and send invoices from a mobile device, pay invoices for a low transaction fee, scan load expenses receipts on a mobile device. You can monitor fiscal reports, which are essentially accounts payable and accounts receivable reports on your mobile on a periodic basis. You get it a quarterly report or a monthly report so that you get a sense for the amount outstanding and the amount you have to pay. It's positioned primarily as a convenient and easy-to-use software platform. It's not something which is rocket science. The primary positioning platform is convenience of use. Proposition is because it's convenient to use, it's easy creation and instant dispatch of invoices, and build custom invoice templates. What it means is that you have invoices which are repetitive that you need to send every month. You can base invoice and you can even set automatic updates. For example, if I have to send an invoice out every month to the same customer for the same amount, I just need to change the month. I can do it on an automatic template. So it becomes very easy to use. The next time I want to send an invoice, it just pops up, look at the invoice, review it, authorize it, and off you go. Possibility to have validation and authorization so that once the invoice is created, there's a level of authorization which enables the owner to have a look at the invoice and confirm that it's okay to send. Interesting feature is that you can actually collect payment for your invoices through BACS direct debit. In the UK, you need to have at least £2 million in your bank account for banks to allow you to collect money through this direct debit payment. Through B2B, you need any such requirement. You can just go and collect direct debit payments for your invoices. As I said, you can review periodic accounts payable and accounts receivable reports. Business model is a prepaid monthly subscription for invoicing expenses and reporting, and a transaction-based commission fee for a payment module. So I also have a business model for through channel partners so that a percentage of the fee is back to the partners. Next slide, please. of the market. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This gives you an overview of who we are targeting. As I said, it's designed for the micro, small, and medium businesses. Target annual revenue is £660 per customer. So the total available market is about $4.1 billion in all. In this target segment, the primary target market is business services segment, which is the largest segment within that market, which is 1.2 million companies. The competition have a wide variety of competition, right from local accountants to large banks who provide financial software packages, zero and standalone invoicing software. The next slide, please, Sramana. This is a bootstrap year. My objective is to get 100 clients, 100 paying clients who will use the software and who will ensure that the software is validated, it becomes robust, and I'll get out for the next level of growth. At this point in time, I'm working on a channel strategy. Been talking to number of channel partners to try out sales through them. A couple of them have been interested in a joint go-to-market approach. I'm still working on that. So
these
bootstrap here.
The part that you're talking to are accounting firms?
Yeah, accounting firms who have been around for the last 25 years. They have a set of between 400 to 500 clients in the target segment that I want to reach out to. They are traditional accounting firms and they're interested in having a mobile software as an add-on, as additional value they can provide to their customers.
Okay, good.
It's stages of discussions, but a couple of them have been very interested and they're also talking about investing in the business. So obviously some deep interest in there, but it's still exploratory at this point in time.
In the business, they're talking about investing in the business, you said?
At least one of them wants to talk about investing in the business.
So I think that actually is an interesting possibility. If you look at the financing module, there's one case study that we've offered called Modernizing Medicine is the name of the company. And they have been using customers as investors. And that does create an interesting dynamic. So my advice to you would be to get them to first become channel partners with the understanding that yes, we raise the first round of financing, you will have an opportunity to invest in that round, and that could be actually a nice way to create a whole bunch of channel partners who are also investors in your firm. This actually, in a particular business, very similar to what Modernizing Medicine has done, this could be a very interesting opportunity. Definitely go look at the Modernizing Medicine case study.
Sramana, that's a great idea. I was thinking how to handle this investment discussion, but that's a great idea to leave the discussion open for a later stage. Actually go and look for finance.
Yeah, we want to first get this thing validated and get enough partners involved, and they need to really work with you closely to give you validation and you know that engagement and reach into their customer base, and when you raise the first round of financing, you will bring them in.
I'll let you know how it goes, Sramana.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
That's it.
Okay. Good. All right. So, how many accounting firms have you been able to open discussions with?
4. I've had discussions with 4, out of which 2 are interested in an investing option. All 4 are interested in a joint go-to-market.
Okay. And how many are on your prospect list of this segment?
I've got a big list. I'm doing territory. Within London, I'm going to local accountants in and around where I live, which is Ealing. So I got about 120 accountants in Ealing. I'm reaching out to them first, and once I exact list, I'll expand around to the next level later. But at this point in time, I'm working with about 100 accountants.
Right. Okay. So that's right. So try to get some of them to get going with the project as soon as you have a minimum viable product, and so that the end customers' feed starts to flow into the project. It's one thing to get them, but you need the end customers engaged, and what would it take to get them to use the product and so forth. So the process of validation needs to happen quickly. I'm actually very glad to hear that these accounting firms are expressing interest in anything, which is a good sign, because that means that they really understand the value of what you're offering.
I hope so.
Keep going, and we will see you again shortly.
Thank you.
Okay, folks. So Balaji, by the way, is a premium member. The reason we did it the way we did it is because I actually know a lot about his business already from a bunch of his presentations in our private roundtables. So much on top of what's happening in his business. I'll go on to some other people who are none of whom are premium members, so I'm going to need a bit more time understanding what they're doing. Now, folks, all of you who are in the room, please feel free to use the public chat to introduce yourselves. Tell us where are you coming from, what city you're joining from, what city, what country, what project are you working on, what business, what segment, and how did you hear about 1M1M? And we're going to move to Kasi.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Is that Dirk?
Yes. Good morning.
Right. So yes, I can hear you, but you're also echoing some noise into the call. So.
Okay. I'll try to talk very smoothly. Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Dirk, and I actually started Google's international business in 2001 and quickly took on a more product-oriented role, which is an area that I really love. I later decided to start my own company and met Satish, who is also pictured on this slide, and together we started Kalasi. So what do we do? Actually, previous slide, please. The old slide. Just a quick summary of what we do. We're building a software platform that empowers air travelers with useful information so they can find the best and also the most fuel-efficient flights on favorite travel websites. Now, next slide, please. Thank you very much. Our customers are travel websites, so for example, Expedia, Orbitz, etc. And the problem we face today is that airfares are already as competitive as can be, and seeing a shift in competition from price to things like user experience, advanced information, and also personalization, which explains why websites like Kayak and Tipman are getting a lot of momentum. Our users are actually travelers, and the problem they face is when they plan travel, there's very, very little detailed information about the flights they are going to take. And there are two dimensions to this problem. The first one is you basically don't know if you're going to end up in a narrow seat with no TV on a 10-hour flight. So there's little information about in-flight amenities, etc., unless if you go to multiple sites to do your research. The second dimension to this problem is that a lot of travelers actually would like to see green versus non-green travel choices. In the US, that's about 21% of travelers. There's really no such information about flights when you book travel. So our value prop is to create transparency in an opaque area and enable travelers to fly smart.
So you create
Slide,
a database, and then you want to license that to these travel websites who offer it to their customers, and you want to charge the travel websites, basically.
That's exactly right. That's our distribution model. Yeah. So on this slide, you basically see that we aggregate advanced flight data such as Wi-Fi, laptop power, seat dimensions, baggage allowance. We combine it with real-time pricing and routing data to compute a score, which we then display on our partner website along with recommendations. We currently have a public demo out there that focuses on the fuel efficiency aspect of this, and it already runs on Expedia, Orbitz, Kayak, and eBookers, and everyone here is very welcome to try it on our website. Next slide, please. And this actually speaks to your question, Sramana. So the distribution model is indeed integrating Kalasi as a standard component on existing travel websites. In this example, you see mock-ups of a pan-European flight comparison site called Skyscanner. The first screenshot just shows our score on the main flight box. And second screenshot displays more detailed information which might appeal specifically to a business traveler, because we point out that this particular flight does not have Wi-Fi laptop power. You may see the colored icons. However, another flight does, and so we're highlighting that flight in our recommendations and hopefully helping the traveler find a better option.
So this screenshot that you're showing, is this screenshot from Expedia?
That's actually Skyscanner, who is a pan-European flight comparison site we're currently talking to.
If you're something like this, are allowed to show alternative places to book, that defeats the purpose of a site like that.
Actually, we're recommending a different flight on the same website. So if you have a list of 50 flight options on a single page, we're just telling you among these 50 which ones might be more suitable for you, but we're not directing the user to another site.
That is our book with Virgin Atlantic, Viama, Flight Network, Budget Air. At the bottom screen, or the bottom bar is an guide, but Viama is another.
Right. Okay. Sorry, that's actually Skyscanner's own content. They display that themselves. That's not us. We just display the score, the green circle with the 82, and then the second screenshot at the bottom. That's our content.
I see. Okay, got it.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. All right, next slide. Thank you very much. Our market entry is actually in France, where carbon reporting will become mandatory across the transportation sector this October. So when we approach travel websites, we basically pitch our FlySmart value prop along with a sense of urgency so they can comply with us by October 1st. Help with carbon dating.
Okay.
Slide, please. Market response. So far, we've been able to secure one letter of intent from a European website called Direct Flights. It's a flight comparison site. We're also in detailed discussion on product and technical implementation with 2 other websites, and we have 3 preliminary talks with bigger players as well. Thank you. So the revenue opportunity, I'm going to go over this quickly. We estimate that there are about 18 billion annual flight searches worldwide online. If we apply to that our batch API rate and consider a generous cache of 80% and apply that with an estimated 10% market share, then we'd get to a revenue opportunity year for our FlySmart product in particular.
So your business model is for every API call you get paid by the website?
But let's be clear that we're charging by batch API calls. So not every single flight, but the entire search, which can include hundreds of flights. That's why it's 20 cents as opposed to 1 cent, for example. And since a lot of this data is not actually real time, like Wi-Fi and seat dimensions, we allow them to cache a lot of it, so they don't have to call us each time.
So you mean that, but isn't there already some composite query going on? You're taking 10% data cached 10% market share, but it seems like if it's a batch API, not every search, the numbers are smaller.
So I may have confused you with the data cache. So we take off 80%, and net of data cache is 20. So the red opportunity is 18 billion times 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.1. Does this make sense? All right, I'm almost done actually. There's, I think, just one more slide which shows what plans we have, where we're going to fine-tune the score and recommendations depending on the traveler's profile. So a business traveler will be more interested in Wi-Fi and laptop power. A family will be more interested in personal TVs, for example. Then looking to empower users to provide content through a mobile app, for example, so they can verify some of the in-flight amenities, also begin reviewing airlines and routes, etc. Or to aggregate reports from across all partner sites and display really interesting infographics on kalasi.com. We're also playing with the idea of airline customer engagement because it's their own interest to become more fuel efficient since it affects bottom lines directly. And there are probably interesting things we can do once we inform the user and show fuel economy of flights.
So I have one question is, how do you get all this data? You know, the seats data and there's lots of data that you need to be able to get to the kind of provide the value that you're proposing to provide. What is involved in that, and how complex is that operationally?
Right. So there are different dimensions to this, and also two phases. Carbon data is the most complex, and since air travel is a highly regulated industry, airlines have to disclose a lot of information to regulatory bodies. So they basically extract a lot of data from governments in order to compute things like fuel usage per aircraft, cargo share, passenger occupancy, etc. And then we boil it down to fuel and carbon emissions by passenger. That's the most complex part. Then there's the in-flight amenities, which is more static data, and we source it also partly from government sites, airline license registrations specifically, but also the airline sites themselves. In the second phase, in order to make our own data management easier, we're going to allow users to provide their own input. So if you flight that,
that's also fraught with some challenges because how the users provide input may not be that consistent to the way you measure things, right?
It depends how we design the input, right?
Well, let me give you an example. You're talking about a certain, 32-inch leg space or whatever, that kind of precision. How will users provide that?
We're not going to equip them with measuring tapes, that's for sure. We were thinking more of things like Wi-Fi. Yes, this flight indeed has Wi-Fi. Yes, I do have laptop power on my seat. And when it comes to seat dimensions, maybe we'll have to rely on the airline's own statements on that, because that could indeed be a little bit more tricky.
I think the better solution for the airline dimensions information is to find out what plane it is, right? What kind of an aircraft it is, and you may be able to get the dimensions for that category of aircraft. Like if it's a Boeing 747, it's a certain certain dimensions. You will get that information from Boeing and Airbus.
That's what we do actually. Most travel websites tell the aircraft type, and so we map it to our own database to come up with some more detailed data about that aircraft.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So, and your customer discussions are evolving reasonably well?
So the company that gave us a letter of intent, we're starting a trial next month, and then it'll be internal testing, setting up the improving performance, and then we're scheduled to go live on October 1st. Yeah, let's cross our fingers.
Okay. Well, good luck. Interesting concept.
Thank you very much.
Dirk, we're going to move to Ask for Pets.
Hi.
Are
you guys able to hear me?
Yes, Smith?
This is Sumit.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, just introducing myself. I'm the founder of Ask for Pets, started about a year back, and we are today one of the largest online pet stores in India, catering to dogs, cats, birds, fish, small animals, and horses. Horses is something that we recently launched, and we hope that we'll create a big market for that as well in India.
What do you want to do first? That's a much more complex. We had a horse. It's a much more complex business.
We move to the next slide. Yeah. So that's about our team. With 3 people running the show at the moment. We have 2 more people from the operational side of it. Actively 5 run the entire business. We have diverse backgrounds. So I come from a marketing background, have over 15 years of experience working with large consulting and digital businesses. While then we have a co-founder, recently joined as a CTO, with 19 years of experience working on various technology experiences that he has. I'm hoping he'll add a lot of value to the business. And thirdly is Payal. Payal comes with experience on loyalty systems and has worked over 10 years in space. So our position primarily is providing premium products, innovative private label products in the form of accessories and furnitures. Also, we will add something which is called services as well, which is more personal in nature in future. Knowledge and content about the pet care products and foods and services are available through our portal. We want to make a large search engine which goes the entire web, giving you specified content on the basis of what you are looking for. Listings and classifieds, again, from a services side of it. The key things that we are focusing is great user experience, which is where we stand apart from most of our competition today, is basically a smooth ordering process and an on-time delivery, and also enabling customer service.
How is the pets, the actual pets, right?
No, supplies.
You sell pets. You sell pet-related products. Okay. So if you go to the presentation here, online it's a pet supply store, not a pet store.
No. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So it's pretty varied. We don't have a very specified segment, primarily because pets can buy anybody. So seen through the customer base, we have our customers of the age group of 25 to 40, prime men who are buying products from us, maybe because in India they are the family, or and then location primarily has been the metros who's given us most business, but we've seen great demand coming from the tier 3 cities as well. Type of customers are pet owners, hobbyists, lovers, and the breeders, and most of them are falling into the H&I segment. Our strategy for customer acquisitions is primarily through referrals, paid search, retargeting, SEO, social. This is what we are focusing a lot on and trying to grow through offline alliances primarily. Marketing is also something that we're doing for females, is something that we want to now do. We have now put together a lot of intelligence into how to go about it. And lastly but not least, marketplace partners. So we already supply to leading online players in India, namely Apply, Snapdeal. We've already tied up with, we're supplying to FreeBazaar.com as well. But they shut down their last site, and now they're coming up with BigBazaar.com. So we're waiting for that eagerly as well. We already in talks with major partners like Infibeam, Flipkart as well to, their pet care sections.
Now, when you say that your customer segmentation is age 25 to 40, income group HNI, what is the average deal size? What is an average order size?
So there are two classifications of customers. One primarily coming from metros, spending between those average order size are going about 3,500, while customers tier 3 cities are giving us somewhere around 1,000 rupees.
Order.
Once in 2 months.
2 months. So each customer, basically metro customer, you're assuming it is about an annual customer value is about 18,000 to 20,000 rupees. The
right.
Metro customer is more like 6,000.
About 6,000. But what we've also seen is since we do a lot of cross-selling and we give away a lot of cash backs and redeemed against the next purchase, we have seen that behavior changing and try to buy something or the other next month. So.
Okay. Right. And what is the size right now? How far along are you? How much revenue are you making? How many customers do you have? Do you have a slide on that?
I don't think I shared that data, but there is a snapshot of how what is the percentage of growth that we have. So somewhere there's somewhat close. If you move to the next slide, that is there.
We'll get to that at the end. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. So one of the challenges that we are facing is the size of the market, because unlike in the US, where pets and babies are considered to be in the same kind of category in terms of the number of people buying them, products. In India, the market size is pretty small because the growth is yet to be there in this segment. Is fairly new, and though it's evolving, it's growing fast with a CAGR of almost 24%. We still feel that this market size is quite small in terms of 1,000 crores. Growth
issue, and you may have read some of the writings on this subject, is that e-com in India in general is moving slowly because people don't want to pay online. People want to do cash on delivery, and the logistics infrastructure is not very good. It's a low trust society. So I think the market solution is not as fast. However, I imagine that you still can the niche e-commerce business just fine with it, and that's what do you think is current market size for your segment?
Well, it's roughly, I would say, the online category of the whole market would contribute about more than 5% right now.
5?
Yeah.
5 to
10% of the overall market size in the pet care space from an online perspective.
Very much. I think it's a lot lower than that.
The biggest challenge that we are facing is there are hardly any reports available in India. There's very little, research that is available from this aspect, and are primarily relying on the Euromonitor reports, which again is not very inclined towards the market sizing per se.
So how many registered users do you have on your site?
To the next slide, it talks about that. Yeah. So the metrics in terms of foundation of the idea. So since May last year we started, we have 2,500 registered people. We haven't done much of marketing yet. Most of them are coming through search and optimization that we have. The buyers are about to the tune of about 1,700 who have bought from us. Transaction that we've done is about 2,900. Which was nearly to the tune of about 45%. Average order value in terms of average overall is 1,400, and all that we deliver within 6 days is 27%. Visitors from the side of it is 5K, and average page views that they view is about 5.5.
What's the Google keyword search volume on this for India?
Well, when you look at keywords like dog food, the volume is very low. So we are, we try to come up with some long tail keywords which were there earlier, and we're trying to focus on them because something like cat food on India as it's something which is growing. So we have been coming number one on those kind of keywords, and we've seen people buying.
I think that will give you an indication of the market. So if you have a keyword map, you have a roster of keywords, both long tail keywords, short head keywords. If you look at our spectrum and if you map out what's the overall search volume across all those different keywords, that will give you an idea about how what is that market, and if you track that on a month-by-month basis, you will get the sense of. I think that's one of the clearest indicators of your market.
I don't have that answer with me right now, but I have a couple of stats that
and track that research on a monthly basis to get a sense of what percentage of that are you getting. I think 55,000 unique visitors a month, and the keyword search volume is somewhere in that range. That means that you are getting most of the traffic that you could possibly get.
I can give you an indication around a couple of keywords which can give you, most of the overall, so dogs apparently is the largest in India. And dog food apparently is also one of the largest, primarily because 60% of the all pet food category is taken care by Pedigree in India. So when you add that, the overall search for dog food as a word on Google or dogs or food related searches is not more than about 30,000.
That's what I was saying. If you're getting unique visitors in range of 55,000 and the dog food is 30,000 range, and maybe if you add up everything else, it probably comes to 70,000 keywords, and you're already getting 55,000 unique visitors a month. Maybe you are already capturing the search volume.
Yeah, sure.
So yes, I think your point that the market is small is then it's a reality of the situation. So then comes the question: how are you going to go from 2,500 members, 55,000 unique visitors? How do you turn more of them into members and more of them into buyers? That's the real issue. If there are 55,000 unique visitors, how can you get to 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 of them actually transacting on your site? That's your real challenge.
So,
to grow the overall market, but you have the ability to grow your own share in that market.
Absolutely correct. So what we're trying to do is understand that as a category per se, the biggest challenge that we'll face is online. Because in the case and buyers in India will not be that high. So we have to look into a mix of an online and offline, which is where my thought is that we should move into a franchising model, take it to tier 3 cities, tier 2, tier 3 cities, where we have a couple of stores on a franchise model.
I think the first order of business is to capture more of the visitors that you're getting and converting those into members and then buyers. I think in terms of your immediate focus, it has taken you over 1 year to get to 1,100 members and 1,700 buyers. But there's a pool of 50,000 a month that are coming to your site. So obviously a lot of headroom for your own growth right now as we speak, even if the market size is what it is.
The understanding is a little incorrect because 55,000 is total people who landed on our website.
Yeah, 55,000 total people who land on your website. If you can convert more of those into members and more of those into buyers, obviously there's 55,000 people land on your website because they have some interest in pet foods. I mean, people don't land on a pet foods website, right?
Absolutely.
So instead of thinking franchising and all these other things, there is a core business that you are doing where you have a lot of headroom still. You double, triple, quadruple your business based on the visits that you're getting if you can optimize that metric of conversion of visitors to members and then members buyers. That point.
Sure.
And I would focus on right now. I would not worry about franchising and all that.
Fair enough. So to the revenue model, what we have that we have thinking about is primarily looking at the B2B, B2C segments. So B2B is what we're doing with plug-in to most of the marketplaces, trying to grow and scale through that. B2B doing directly through our website. And we also want to look at trying to do more sourcing through providing. So there are two models in the marketplaces. One is pure drop shipment, and the second is where we do our own shipping. So we are handling both of them at the moment. From private label.
Yourself. You're doing shipping yourself?
Yeah, but so still kind of a partner, we don't ship ourselves. They send their partners and we hand it over to them. In certain places like Pepper Fry, we don't do anything. They just come pick up the products and they ship it on their own.
Okay.
Two types of marketplaces that we're working with.
About getting into private label products, it makes your cost structure far more expensive. The cash requirements for the business are going to be significantly higher. And see, my take on this kind of businesses is, for a of business, is to grow a customer base. Have a strong customer base, you can begin to take more inventory risks, take more manufacturing risks, and so forth. But right now, whatever free cash flow you have, you need to invest into getting the customer base worked out based on your current merchandising.
Sure.
Otherwise, you're going to get into a lot of cash crunch.
Right.
Got it?
Yeah. So we are looking for investments at the moment. We have put in a lot of money on our own site, and we are now doing a lot of marketing as well through various channels where we are adopting the kind of models.
You have difficulty getting investment until your growth curve significantly moves, because the VCs in India are very wary of slow growth businesses. It is not compatible with a slow growth business model, and they don't like slow growth markets. This market is growing very slowly, and this is not going to be a market they would invest in. So you kind of bootstrap up to a point where the market starts to grow faster, and you start to grow faster.
Sure. So what was the main reason why I thought of putting my presentation here as a picture? Because I wanted to understand what are the things that we could do to scale our business much faster than what we are doing. So that kind of a quote I pass it on to you to understand what are the various things, what are the various ideas that we can have.
So I've kind of given you feedback as I went along.
Yeah.
I have to tackle two more presenters today.
Absolutely.
So why don't you hang around? We'll see how much time we have at the end of the session. There's some feedback I've given you. If you play back the session, you will be able to capture that. It's like don't dilute yourself and don't defocus yourself by going for franchising right now. Don't defocus yourself trying to go for private label and all that. That's just not how you want to spend your cash right now. You have to really go after optimizing the conversion rates from visitors to buying customers.
Sure.
Then we can double click down and see how to do that, but that should be your primary focus.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. We are going to Symbiorf. Okay, that name does not roll off the tongue. Where's let's skip to Arun Prabhu. Okay. Vox Arun Prabhu. You're up next.
Yeah, thank you, Sramana. And good morning, Sramana. It's wonderful to be here. All right, just to set the context, in the predictive analytics services business, based on the background, and let's be some sort of a genesis for this product idea that we have. So let me start it. Maureen, can you move the slide forward? Thank you. The big pick we all see is social and cloud technologies are the fundamentals of business engagement. And by people, I mean consumers and talent and transactions. We treat this as a big opportunity, a new problem to be solved by analytics and not just a source of big data. Maureen, please. Yes. So the new analytic problem we see is huge demand shifts. Engagement models will mean new people preferences. The upset this demand dynamic. We are all seeing this happening across the consumer and the talent landscape. It's impacting every single business in the world, and businesses are finding it hard to acquire valuable consumers and valuable talent. And on the other hand, looking valuable consumers and valuable talent. Translate lost business and so lost revenue, with probably happy employees equals happy customers equals business growth, right? So that's the big picture and the problem that we are looking at. And if we could move on. So predictive analytics, we believe, can help solve this problem. And in fact, it's been doing so for many businesses, but I'm doing this in the next slide. It's just too complicated to use for an overall businesses that are faced with the problem of huge demand shifts. So our vision is a tool that helps a greater variety of businesses make decisions, take those decisions on it, and there is action the decision, and to be able to do so in a seamless manner across the business using predictive analytics. However, for an audience that's not predictive analytics savvy, don't need to score very high on intuitiveness and usability. Have business and not statistics on show, and we are heading in this direction with Value Works. Next slide, please. So, basically, there are large untapped white space as we see it, and based on our experience in analytics services, prioritize the product market. We currently solely focused on the demand segment because demand supply sees huge shifts, as we all know. Within this, we are building for staffing providers. This is a very large market, and it's also the one that we understand very well. And so we want to be remaining focused on this segment for the first 1 or 2 years, and then we want to be building for businesses that are inherently customer experience rich. Those that are impacted by social, and so need to drive deep engagements with customers. Follow this, in our third year, we plan to target about 5 segments.
My feedback to you is you need to focus on one segment for 5 years.
Yes.
You will,
okay.
Because it takes a long time to penetrate one segment and create your position in one segment. of, jumping from one segment to another in 3 years is just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, Sramana. In fact, wider the segment that we are focusing on right now is a very large market. If you look at the US, it's about $45,000 starting prices, and that's a large market to look at. And so we thought that about 2 years piloting and selling to this segment, first to sort of have any horizontal platform which we could then take across different industries.
Horizontal is not the answer. If you're interested in data and analytics market, go read the series that I publish on my blog. Every single conversation, lately, everybody talks about how the game is shifting from horizontal to vertical, and it's really in the vertical heuristics where you have real opportunities to do new companies. The market is very crowded, and if you want to really have a differentiated position, you need to really get deep into the vertical. Horizontal is not where the opportunity is.
Sramana, this one point that I wanted to be able to quickly chat up with you on is, having a trading business model and looking at a white space, does that sort of, is it sort of helping us to sort of grow horizontal and stay contrarian to the trends that are there in the market, or is it not worth it?
I have a hard time understanding what you're saying. I don't know what you're doing with your phone, but you're very difficult to understand for me for some reason.
Okay, should I roll the slides back, perhaps?
Yes, please.
Roll the slides back. Did we miss something? Back? Sramana, Yep.
Okay, go on.
So just to be clear here, we're looking at a wide space of businesses that have used analytics or probably are not too comfortable using predictive analytics in its current state of the art. And therefore, we are innovating. That's where, we build out something which is highly, innovative and simple to use by this particular segment. Therefore, we see large market beyond this one segment.
What you present here, you think talent management is a white space segment?
Much of it is in terms of, a large amount of staffing providers, okay, and, who are data rich, but then haven't been able to leverage data as much as they could. And been using something like predictive analytics for decision making.
So, my problem with your presentation is that you're going into an area which is one of the hottest and over-invested areas of technology right now. Big data analytics is by far the most over-invested area of tech right now, and every segment is getting a ton of investment. And you're looking at it with a very 30,000-foot level understanding of the segment. The only way people succeed in building businesses in highly crowded segments is with really deep understanding and no insight about particular features within that segment where they know that there are gaps. I'm not hearing that level of understanding or level of insight into a segment from you. I'm hearing 30,000-foot level comments.
Okay.
Segment do you really understand deeply? Where you have your own professional experience, where you can take, perhaps do something in predictive analysis where you have an unfair advantage because of your own experience in that segment or your team's experience in that segment.
Absolutely, and we've been serving the staffing wider market for quite some time now, and we've built a fair amount of competence with this particular client base that we have now. So we therefore have been leveraging. Yeah, sorry. staffing providers.
What?
Staffing providers who are providers. The US staffing is something.
Staffing providers are telling you that they're trying to solve and are unable to solve. You again go look at the big data series on the blog. So for those of you who are asking for links, if you go to 1mby1m.com and go to blog, thought leaders in big data series on left navigation bar, and there are tons of companies on series. We've even done profiles of companies that came to the talent management segment, so staffing provider segment. So if you're not aware of that stuff, then say your comparative analysis and your market research is inadequate. But the real point that you should go in on very deeply is what problems are your clients trying to solve where you can add value? What is the real problem at a fine-grained level? Not on such level, at a fine-grained level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Sramana,
from the presentation. The presentation is kind of not really very. So if you can get into does this presentation get into the fine-grained problem of the staffing providers? If so, let's go into that.
Also, the rest of the presentation doesn't really, right? So it's pretty much based on this horizontal product idea that we've had so far. So let me dwell a little bit on the staffing provider insights that we have, which sort of helps us to build our entry-level offering, which is what we're sticking to today. The pain point that the staffing provider level that we've been solving and we've built the product for currently is unpredictability in terms of forecasting and unpredictability, therefore, in terms of revenue management. And these are the areas that we're focusing on in our entry offering. So the current build of the product is ready for deployment, and which is sharply focused on managing demand or at the first milestone. And that would mean that staffing providers are able to size up the jobs for today, tomorrow, and say days now, and to be able to match that against the talent pipeline that they have, and to have predictability here. So that's the problem that we are trying to solve now.
Focus on that problem and solve that problem. Get hundreds of clients around that problem, and really deeply understand what it takes to get to that segment.
Yeah, I get it. That's been our plan, but then I guess our timeline for that, as per you, is pretty short. And
thousands of clients in a particular segment, it's going to take you years. So this is not not a flip of a switch that you go from one segment to another segment to another segment. You flip a switch here and you flip a switch there. That's not how you build a business. Your expectations about what it would take to build business are, unrealistic. Have identified a problem that customers are resonating with. That's great. So then focus on that. Get customers from that particular segment interested in solving that particular problem. Build your product, flesh out product, continue to evolve your product to meet their expectations and their needs and solve their problems, and you have a business. That's how we build businesses.
I get that. Yep.
So you probably have the answers in your work. You need to adjust your expectations, and you need to adjust your focus and your business strategy on how you build this business. Okay?
I get it. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right. We're going to go into an open Q&A time, and instructions for calling in. The toll number is 650-479-3208. Access code is 662-613-310. If you're calling in, do let us know first in public chat so that we know to ask you to mute your line. But you keep your computer on mute so that you don't stream echo into the call, and your phone muted until I ask for you. So guys, start coming onto the call or even ask questions in public chat. And I'm going to spend about 7 minutes explaining to you how to use the 1M program in case you're considering joining us. Before we do that, I want to request you to spread the word. If you like what we are doing, please introduce 10 serious entrepreneurs to 1M. We'd love to have more serious entrepreneurs. And honestly, you need real resilience, real commitment to be a successful entrepreneur. And we, for us to be successful in achieving our mission, we really need, people who have that resilience and that character trait to really push it through for years and years and years, because building business isn't an overnight issue. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, so here are resources that you can use. 1M by 1M is the website. The first level of resource is the blog series and the Entrepreneur Journeys book series. So the blog, I've just referred to the blog. You can access it from the website itself. And those of you who are considering businesses in the big data and analytics area, read the Thought Leaders in Big Data series. It's a fantastic series, and it brought on, several thought leaders, like, some 30 thought leaders who have generously shared their perspectives and so forth, so that you can really get insights into what's happening in this industry and what are the trends, what are the realities of this business. If you are doing a business in big data, you should not miss using that series as part of your understanding as part of your process of enhancing your understanding of that market. Now, you also have the Entrepreneur Journeys book series. We've published 4 volumes of those. These are collections of case studies, analysis, and synthesis. And we strongly recommend that you, if you're knowing the program, then at least start getting your, ducks lined up a little bit on the methodology that we practice, and bootstrapping and positioning are 2 cornerstone elements of that methodology that you do need to understand. So these are available from Amazon and Kindle internationally and Flipkart in India. Blog is at sramanamitra.com and also at 1mby1m.com. This is what the site looks like. So see on the categories bar of the blog, you have Entrepreneur Journeys and then you have Big Data. That's the link I'm referring to when we are talking about big data. Also, we have mobile and social, cloud computing, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of content that are great for understanding markets and really understanding, how to navigate these markets. Okay, they have these roundtables, 183rd roundtable this week. So these have been around for a long time. We've had hundreds of entrepreneurs participating. Feel free to register and book your slot for the upcoming roundtables. We're going to be off for a couple of weeks in August and then resume. I think it's August 22nd is when we resume. You can book your slot through the website, free public roundtables on the top navigation bar. Then we have the premium program. And on the premium program, you get extensive methodology guidance. You get a full curriculum to understand all the key elements that you need to learn to be a sophisticated entrepreneur. We give you help on business development, introductions to customers, channel partners, and so forth. We help you with strategy consulting, like what you the flavor of here. We do a lot of that, extensive amounts of that in the premium program in the private roundtable. Help you with financing and media relations. Now, financing, if you have a fundable business, then we help you with financing. If you are looking for exposure in the media, we do have a lot of clout in the media, and we make that clout available for entrepreneurs. The Dollar Club, we introduce you to a bunch of people from the program who have made to the $1 Million Club, and you will meet them if you read the article on the site. We do some ROI analysis of the 1M1M program. For a $1,000 annual membership fee, what you're getting is $375,000 worth of value plus 5 to 10% equity. So it's a very good value program with immense amount of knowledge and insight and access that we provide you through the program for a very, very affordable price point. And we give some orientation material on how to use the program effectively. We recommend that you calibrate yourself, your business, on using the 1M self-assessment. That's also available from the top navigation bar on site. A point questionnaire. And for the premium members, you will also have curriculum modules that help you plug knowledge gaps in each of the areas. All right. So then, there's a whole bunch of content that you have to evaluate the premium program, what to expect from the premium program, the video messages, video FAQs of the program, all of which will help you understand the program better and make your decision whether you want to join the program or not. This is how we teach the curriculum. So since 2006, we've been developing case studies of successful entrepreneurs. We've had over 600 entrepreneurs come to this forum and tell their stories in case study format and explain how they have mitigated the commonly faced challenges that entrepreneurs face in their early stage journey. Also, through 183 roundtables, through 183 public roundtables, and also numerous private roundtables, we have a very deep understanding of the kinds of issues that you guys are facing in your entrepreneurial journeys. So we've triangulated these two bodies of work and created a very powerful, inspiring curriculum with which you can essentially get a comprehensive and very efficient MBA almost in entrepreneurship, in startups, in technology and technology-enabled services. So curriculum teaches you some core topics: bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. We deliver it in video lectures and case studies. Tips: we teach you Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, which has a special module on big data, outsourcing and consulting, mobile and social, healthcare, IT, online education, educational technology, gaming. These are the elective modules. Methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. If you raise funding later on, you will have to go through a period of bootstrapping leading up to potential financing round if you can show traction, if you can show growth, and so forth. So if you can show a fast growth market, that's really key and crucial. So there is no going around early stage bootstrapping phase, and definitely respect that, and we acknowledge that, and we teach you methodology elements that help you navigate that phase. Go to the press page. There is coverage of premium members. It will give you a flavor of the kind of coverage we are able to generate for our premium members, and we are very diligent about the work we do to get you visibility. Very important, it's one of the real key elements of capitalism. If you want to sell something to customers, those customers need to know that you exist. So PR is one of the most important ways of getting yourself out there, because early stage entrepreneurs often are also unable to afford advertising. Similarly, social media has become a very powerful channel to get us out there and make people know about you. And we have a very extensive social media channel: Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Highly present with big followings. Our Facebook following, for instance, is 20,000 followers. The Facebook page has a couple million reach through the friends of fans. Our LinkedIn profile has something like 15,000, 16,000 connections. So there's a very broad reach that we provide, and we have created this channel. It's not just Twitter that flows through also Facebook and LinkedIn. Give you access to promote yourselves through these channels as well. So we are very mindful of the fact that generating traction, creating access for members is something that we want to do, we like to do, and you need it. So that's something that we have created mechanisms for as much as possible. The Action Radar and Deal Radar series are also files. These are kind of places where you can publish your executive summary. So if you're trying to reach customers or partners or investors, these are great profiles through which to introduce yourselves to these kinds of, target individuals. A lot of investors monitor this series as well. We also have an affiliate program. So if you're a organizer, if you're an entrepreneurship development organization or a university organizer or alumni association or government, if you're looking to, beef up the infrastructure in your geography and you want to collaborate with us, we have an affiliate program. We also have an incubator in a box program through which you can partner with us. We have roundtables in August 22nd and August 29th. Feel free to register and book your slot. If you're looking for ideas, especially emerging markets, this book, Vision India 2020, has $45 billion business ideas. It's actually a book that is written with the idea of generating ideas, with the notion of generating ideas. It's written as business fiction set in 2020, as if we have already built these businesses. Welcome to take any of these ideas and build upon them. We do have a module in 1M to help people who are developing Vision India 2020 ideas, and those ideas apply to a lot of the emerging markets. 1M Incubator in a Box enables anyone in any part of the world, companies, angels, VCs, governments, schools, entrepreneurship development organizations, to easily, rapidly, and affordably either launch an incubator or to extend their incubation resources. So if you're for any of those categories, feel free to reach out to us if you want to partner with us. We're working with a lot of corporations right now with this model. All right. So for Q&A, I believe, Spencer, you wanted to call in. Are you on the call?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay, just a random question. So we've been linking the company that I'm working with, Omniscience Technologies, have been building a kind of tool to make websites more interactive. Anyway, that's not my mission, but along the way we've developed an ability to see fields a website visitor are filling out on a form. Like if you're filling out a form or a sign-up page, you can see exactly where they're at in forms, and if they leave, before they leave, we can say, okay, they left and decided not to give this piece of information, in this field. Anyway, it isn't necessarily part of our business model, but we've seen this capability. What my question is in a couple of days I've been calling and asking a company called Eventbrite the other day and chatted with a few technical people online to see if they have this capability. They said they didn't, but I don't know if there's a demand for something like that, and I was trying to figure out, some suggestions on what I could do to see if this would actually be valuable to any companies.
Well, you're going to need to figure out who cares about this information, and then you need to talk to people at companies. You need to basically position the idea, segment the idea, figure out who cares, and go talk to a bunch of people and ask them that question. You do the right people. That's the key.
I guess that's the question I've been having, is trying to find out who the right people are within an organization, a web organization.
So you're trying to do this for everybody who takes registrations on the website. All kinds of websites that take registration, right, on the website.
Right.
One is you could call our webmasters and ask them that who is responsible for the leads that get generated.
That makes sense.
Actually, website forms are lead generation mechanisms. And you talk to people who are responsible for lead generation. Webmaster is not responsible for lead generation. The webmaster is responsible for the programming of the workflow that lead generation people have put in place. So you need to talk to people who are in charge of lead generation.
Perfect. That answers my question 100%. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else wants to call in or ask a question in public chat? Yes? Nobody has a question or comment. I see a very active public chat today during the sessions. That's great. A chance to read all of that, but looks like are a highly engaged audience. Don't have anything else to say? More comments, questions? You do have a question. Kanchupati has a question. All right. And Maurice, there's somebody else on the line. So who else is on the line? To the line, and you want to ask a question? Or Anu, what is your question? Oh, okay, cool. Please go ahead. Spencer is still here. Okay. All right, Anu is calling in. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments, observations? Feedback from other entrepreneurs who have pitched today? I saw good feedback about aquarium keyword searches about the pet supply store. That's a good piece of keyword analysis there. Are you new? Scroll up on the public chat. Let's find the comment. I think it was Neeraj Harlalkar's comment. The keyword aquarium monthly searches in India is 301,300, over 300,000. Looks like you have some. Wait, so then how can it be the same number for pet foods and also aquariums? You're offering 300,000 search results for both. Weird. Is that a coincidence or? I need to do more. My main feedback to you, Sumit, that you need to really understand keyword optimization and really understand how to harness the searches better. And that really is your key to building this company. We case study after case study of companies, niche commerce companies that have built their businesses using keyword optimization. They do a very, very good job of that, and that really drives traffic and sales. Anybody? So, Anu, are you on the line?
I am.
Go ahead.
Hey, how are you doing? So, first of all, thanks a lot for this this event. And actually, it was only yesterday I stumbled upon your website. I got an email, and so I got curious. I learned about it, and I find it very interesting. Basically, my background is I am a developer, and I'm I'm based in Edison, New Jersey, and I'm following one thought and idea. This regarding building sort of a platform for thanking people, expressing gratitude. Not a typical e-card or e-greeting type of a company where they just provide a bunch of cards and you just use them. More like a preferred platform for even quickly send that we call as thank you gram. And basically a simple platform both on mobile as well as on app, which lets you either take a picture and inscribe a thank you text on it and send it to Facebook timeline or LinkedIn contact or mail, or you could page it or send a text. And basically, bring some sort of a utility application, which is a tool that people use every day, and also providing an extended capability of letting people mail something called gratitude journal, a concept that basically letting people publish publicly their thankful about, and then sharing it, and some sort of a public profile page, if you could think like that, and it the idea, the thought behind it is like every person or even legal entities like companies, small, large, medium, whatever, both non-profit.
Can I stop you for a second, Kanu? Why don't you book a slot in one of the August roundtables and come to your idea, and I'll be happy to work with you on it. It's a little bit difficult to do it in this mode, the way you're doing it. The other thing you could do is you could join the premium program and relearn how to bring your idea to market. We really prefer that you join as early as possible so that you don't go down the wrong path, and then we have to bring you back and unlearn or undo a lot of the things that you've done. Some of you, when you don't follow the right methodology, you spend months, sometimes years, building products that have no validity and are not going to sell, and you cannot do business with. These kinds of things are very expensive because you have one life, and years of your life are really, really precious. You want to waste those years on doing in the wrong order and then going out of business or pursuing a bad idea. So teach you very clear methodologies of how to validate your idea, and some ideas don't validate. We have lots of entrepreneurs who come into the program with an idea, they will not validate. Follow the methodology, it doesn't validate, and then they learn the idea, and they can just use the methodology in the program to work on a different idea. So you can have as many ideas as you want, but I want you to follow the methodology and get to a viable idea that you can then build a business with as soon as possible. This is what we are doing philosophically.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Right? So, and by the way, if you have a job, hold on to it. Especially if you're an idea stage entrepreneur, we strongly recommend that you hold on to your job and start using the one-on-one program to validate your idea, and only quit your job after you have validated the idea and are ready to jump full into it. We have companies actually in the program who came in very early idea stage and have actually gotten to break-even revenue, and they're just now about to quit the jobs. So basically used what we call the bootstrapping using a paycheck methodology. For that. We're pragmatic about how to get a business off the ground, A lot of people will tell you, you cannot focus and so forth. We believe that you're going to need to pay your bills. You're going to need some cash to operate with. And most pragmatic ways of doing that is keep your job and get a business off the ground, and at least the validation phase of the business off the ground. With that check, we also use bootstrapping using services often, so that's another methodology that we teach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thanks.
All right. Officium Higher Place. What is your name? That's not your name, right?
Yeah. No, Sramana. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. What's your name?
Yeah. My name is Vineet Garg, Sramana, and first of all, I want to acknowledge that I have been following your blog for quite some time now. I've been, beginning to like all your all the advice that you're providing, and I do hope to enroll into the premium program pretty soon. I just want to quickly validate the idea that I've been working upon. The idea that I've been working upon is related to talent acquisition by various companies. There is a lot of trend by companies in terms of going social to acquire talent, and of course, LinkedIn is playing a big role. But I said that I do get a sense and understand that the headhunters are continuing to be relevant. However, the market with headhunters interaction with companies is still unorganized. I have talked to multiple headhunters and multiple HR recruiters. So the common themes are emerging were that, of course, it is uncoordinated. And then when companies and headhunters work together, they may or may not be working in the best possible scenario. Like companies engaging with a headhunter just on a relationship basis, there is no evidence that they are engaging with the best headhunter. So my thought there is to put together a platform wherein headhunters are kind of aggregated on one side, and they do provide service to companies on a platform wherein they are held accountable for their performance, and they are measured on aspects such as cost, response time, quality, and of course headhunters get to build their brand online, and they be approached by more companies. So it's a kind of two-sided network, and of course it will take some time because it is two-sided network. So I will have to segment, focus really, let's say, on the freelancers initially, and funded startups who need quick hiring. So that's what I'm focusing upon and trying to get off the ground. There are other aspects of this venture that once there is candidate data that can also be used in multiple different ways. So is your thinking and thought in general about this concept of headhunters have not been organized till now, and whether this could work?
No, I don't have a thought on this. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
My thought on this is irrelevant. We have very strict validation methodologies, and I would like you to follow that validation methodology and decide whether there's an opportunity or not. So again, feedback to you. If you want to use the methodology, I would like you to join the program as soon as possible and start applying the methodology before spending a lot of, valuable time of your life doing random things. The faster you work with us, the best way we can contribute and really steer journey is to have you focus and follow our methodology diligently as quickly as possible. And that is the way we can get you the maximum results. Because, a lot of you are asking me for my opinion about your ideas. My opinion about your ideas almost doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes I see stuff, and very rarely you will see me telling somebody that, you know what, idea, it's bogus, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I do that from time to time. It's so obviously a bad idea, I would say that. But I very rarely do that. The people who will be able to give you that information are your potential customers, and we teach you in a granular basis how to do that customer validation and what you need to extract out of that. So something that, like all of you, follow, because many of you, sometimes you guys come here, some entrepreneurs come here and you're at the end of your rope. You've already spent 2 years doing nonsense. If you come to me, instead of coming to me 2 years later when you have run out of all your resources and all your energy, if you give me 2 years back, I would actually been able to help you. Now, I'm not a magician, right? I can pull cash out of pocket and give you cash. It's just not something I'm capable of doing. I teach you how to build a business. But building a business takes time, and building a business has a methodology to it. Either you follow that methodology, that, go around for 2 years and then come to me when you don't get anywhere with it.
Sure, Sharma, I agree with that. I just want just the comparative landscape point, LinkedIn Talent Solutions is encroaching into this market a lot. So do you think a parallel solution, in some ways a parallel solution has a scope?
But this is again, I don't want to have these discussions at a 30,000-foot level. I want granular information about specifically what are you hearing is the pain point, and what is the competitive landscape around that specific pain point. 30,000 feet discussions, top TAM analysis, none of these are relevant. As far as methodology is concerned, we discuss 100%. We
Fair
are
enough.
interested in the very granular, very focused issues of what the market wants, what customers want, what is the competitive landscape around those particular granular issues, and we have you
Exactly.
focus.
Yeah, I've done that research. Maybe I can present and then probably I have a much richer discussion. Sramana.
If you've done research, come and present. We can have a discussion and I can give you pointers. That's actually where, the rubber meets the road, basically.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Yep.
Okay, we are pretty much out of time. I would like to wrap up for today, and then we're going to be off for a little while, and we'll be back here in mid-August. Let's see, August 22nd and August 29th are the August roundtables. Please go ahead and book your slots if you want to pitch, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.